So before going to sleep, here is 4:40 in the morning. I would like to do a last video to remember Spassky's life. As you can see, I have gave her different resources, different books. In this case, this is the famous Sahovski Informator from 1979, number 28, issue 28. In that time, it was the source of information of the latest games, because they didn't have internet or tournaments online or obviously streaming and so on and so forth. So what I will show you is a game which is game 676. Imagine, here there are more than 600 games. In reality there are more than 700. Between Spassky and Hubner. Spassky is written with only one S. It was played in Tilburg in 1979. Spassky begins with D4. Knight F6, C4, G6, Knight C3, and D5. So we have a Grunfeld, right? C takes D5, Knight takes D5, E4, and Knight takes C3, B takes C3, and Bishop G7. It continues with Bishop C4, Castle, and Knight E2, and Knight C6. Notice up to now there are no comments, so I guess this is all theory. Castle, B6. So it seems that Hubner thinks to develop on this diagonal and not on this diagonal. This is important, obviously, if you want to play the Grunfeld, because you need to know where to develop the bishop. Bishop E3, and now Hubner plays Bishop B7. Here there is a note. The game was annotated by this Joksik. I don't know if he was a Grandmaster level, International Master, so take it as you can, okay? It says here there was Knight A5, Bishop D3, and C5. So probably that was the theory up to 1979. So Bishop B7 was new. Notice that maybe it wasn't new. Maybe there could have been a game played in 1850 with this variation, but the problem was that in 1979, in order to have games, you needed to have a ton of books and then try to find them, right? Instead, nowadays, with a click on ChessBase, I know immediately who played it, when and how. Also, if of course ChessBase has only 10 million games, and so maybe it doesn't cover everything. But why do I say it doesn't cover everything? Because it seems that in Lichess they already played more than 10 billion games or something like that. I don't know. F4, and once more there is the fact that Joksik says Knight A5 should be played, but it doesn't tell us if it's good, bad, or whatever, right? And black plays E6, to which now white plays a move that gives him an advantage in term of the annotation here. So in 1979 there were no computers, or there were computers, but they were not able to actually tell us the right move, right? So take these evaluations with a grain of salt. The move is F5. I always give you a little time, so you have enough time to pause the video and think for yourself, okay? Finally, Hubner plays Knight A5. Here there is a continuation, which is Bishop D3. Why Bishop D3? Because you see, sometimes I didn't understand these moves when I was younger as a chess player. Not really young, unfortunately. Because they would say, but why did he play that? Okay, it was under attack, but why he didn't go here? Okay, the reason is that he doesn't want to lose the bishop pair, because the bishop pair it's very, very important. So how did the black continue? With e takes f5, e takes f5, and now there is rook e8. And you would ask yourself, but why didn't play queen d5 threatening this? Because there was knight f4 attacking the queen on d5 and defending g2 at the same time. Okay, so rook e8 makes a little more sense, right? Queen e2, and now there is a dubious move, which is bishop e4. It seems here that they suggest that queen d5 was better at this point, because after knight f4 there would be queen c6, and after rook e1 knight c4 with counterplay or attack from both sides. Instead, bishop e4 is considered dubious. Why bishop e4 is considered dubious? Which means my question is, what do you play if you were white in this position? Because the next move by white is annotated with an exclamation point, which means it's a very good move. The move is bishop g5, and here black played f6. In the note they put queen d7, so maybe queen d7 is better. So after f6 there is bishop takes e4, and at this point you can only retake, because otherwise it takes the rook here, and it's followed by queen d3, queen d5, and here it gives a line in case he would take on e2, because it's obviously interesting, tack, tack, and f takes g5, right? But it seems that by move 23 white is winning, so do your own analysis, because this is interesting. Honestly, I think they should have put a diagram here, because that would have kind of helped, right? Okay, so instead black played queen d5, that probably is better than to take on e2. Bishop d2, and now there is g5. It seems that rook e8 is a mistake. Why? Because after knight g3, rook g4, h3, and that's give white a decisive advantage. Honestly, guys, I tell you one thing, when I read the Informator, this thing of a decisive advantage sometimes was really obscure to me, okay? So again, because I know that if I play against a computer, I'm not sure I would win so easily, but maybe Spassky is Spassky, so I don't know. Knight g3, rook h4, and again, if you would have played rook e7, that would have been a mistake. And let me show you why rook e7 is a mistake. You need to find it out, okay? Because if you don't find it out, you don't understand this game. So rook e7 is a mistake for a simple reason, because bishop takes g5. When you take, f6 will fork your rook and bishop, and so white has gained material. So that's why rook h4 is the move to play. Here white centralizes, rook e1, rook f8, knight e4. Honestly, it's very difficult to follow a game on the informant. Luckily, the moves are written in bold, otherwise it would be totally impossible. Knight c4, bishop c1, again, as you can see, doesn't want to lose the bishop because he probably want to use it. c5, and now you need to find a good move for white. At least this is a move that has been marked with an exclamation point. And the move is queen f3, to which black plays king h8. Notice once more, if he play this, rook d8, there is bishop takes g5. And so the problem is all probably related to this pawn that is becoming unstoppable and kind of interesting. Okay, so king h8, knight takes g5. Wow, I didn't see it coming, but it's interesting. And he doesn't take, he doesn't take. Wow. Because the rook would be doomed if it takes. Yeah. Okay. So the problem is this rook on h4. Queen d6, attacking here. g3, f takes g5. G takes h4, and here there is g4, queen takes g4, and here there is a mistake by black. I guess by now he was probably okay, maybe he's not in time trouble, he just thinks that he is taking here because he wants to play rook g8. But unfortunately there is a problem. Let's see if you see the problem, guys. That there is a refutation to this idea of rook g8. After c takes d4, rook g8, what do you play? Obviously you play bishop g5, and so you didn't lose the queen. And here Hubner resigned. I hope you enjoyed this game from this Sahovski Informator, number 28 from 1979. Clearly a beautiful game with many subtleties, and this ends, I don't know, it looks like Hubner didn't calculate deep enough and didn't see a move that made sense. Who knows, maybe he was in time trouble, but again, this is move 30, okay, so generally he still had 10 moves before reaching the time control. Thank you very much for watching.